May I have roll call, please?
Chris Brown.
Here.
Amy Grantham.
Here.
Nancy Hopper. Katie Jess.
Here.
John Proudy.
Here.
Mindy Smith.
Here.
Sarah Whitney.
Here. Will you please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
On the agenda, we have approval of the previous board meeting minutes. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham.
Aye.
Katie Jess.
Aye.
John Proudy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Aye. Sarah Whitney.
Next on the agenda, we have the current agenda with the removal of table action item B, curriculum for counseling. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Chris Brown.
Aye.
Amy Grantham.
Aye.
John Proudy.
Aye.
Mindy Smith. Aye. Sarah Whitney.
Next on the agenda, we have a special presentation from the Clay Trap Shooting Club and Fort Morgan High School. Come on, guys.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. So we're here tonight to propose a new club for trap shooting is the main one. It's a clay target league actually. There's actually several disciplines that we have the option to. There's so much information. I'm just going to try to throw it out there. And if you guys have questions, I can revert back. So the Clay Target League was started in 2000, what was it, 13 or 3? I'm not sure. There's some. I previously started one with the New Raymer School. I was the head coach there, and that was one of the founding teams in Colorado. That was in 2013. Several kids from Fort Morgan shot on that team that year as a cooperative. So it's fairly some of the families in this area. So there is a desire for that. One of the cool things about clay target shooting is it gives a lot of kids that don't have an opportunity to do other things that they're either physically not able to do or not interested in doing. It gives them something to be active in. There's some good statistics there of the participation of the kids that are in shooting sports. I think it's like 37% are not involved in anything else. So that's one of the things that I'm passionate about is reaching all kids. My belief is if the kids are involved in something good, then they don't have time to do something bad. So like to keep them busy. So good opportunity for our community to give our kids some more engagement. As far as what is needed from the school is actually very little. Literally the one requirement that we need is permission to use the logo and that you guys give us the blessing to start the club, things that it is a high school shooting organization. So we been working with the administration on some of the details there. We've looked through the insurance requirements. The league has all its own insurance. As far as coaching credentials, I'm one of the key components of that liability buffer because I am very certified. I've been a coach since 2013, I think is when I got my official certification with the NRA, and I've had several certifications in different leagues that I've coached in since then. So I've been coaching for a long time, and I'm going to get this program started and hopefully get some parents to step forward to keep it going. I'll stop there because I'll answer more questions you even have, and I'll just fill in the blanks.
So what I left for, what I gave you, is what we talked about this afternoon, and I left at each one of your tables here, is this is a draft of an MOU. You can see that, like Mr. Wolf said, there's not a lot required from the school, other than a few things that we put on there. A lot of things that we talked about through attorneys and through insurance, and come to find out we really didn't need to because this has been established across the state already. in various other school districts. And, like you said, the insurance, our insurance is gonna wanna know, but really he carries the insurance on his shooting club and then and USA, clay target pamphlet, very detailed, very, organized, and I'm this opportunity to our kids, so.
Yeah, I think it'd be a great opportunity. Couple of questions. For weapons, are the kids responsible for buying their own shotguns for this, or is there an armory that's maintained? And then
No.
also ammunition?
So everything is owned by the participants. We don't provide any firearms. There's a liability transition there. So maintaining their firearm and all those things will be their responsibility. We will verify that their firearms are safe and handled properly, but they own all of it and they're responsible for even some of their ammunition contributions. The base for most clubs is they provide their own ammunition. One thing that's unique about ours is I have an established program that is actually, we own the range that we shoot at, and I have funding and grants and whatnot that I can apply to this program through my organization. So that will help with some of the kids that can't afford ammo. Of the program is, ammo is really the big expense. You buy a shotgun once, it lasts you forever. Ammo is our biggest hurdle, but we have a lot of very generous organizations that help us with that. And I have a pretty good surplus of ammo that's available for kids that need help with it.
I mean, I think it's a great idea. I think it's one that's long overdue.
Did I do that good of a job?
Provided a lot of good information.
Just throwing out some of the key points, like I said, I've been engaged in it for a long time. One thing that generally gets people kind of to take that step back when we're talking about clay shooting leagues is that firearms are involved. Even the insurance, when we put the request to them, they called us a high risk. When I read all of their high risk profiles of what it takes to be a high risk activity, shooting sports doesn't even fit. The only thing that makes shooting sports high risk is a firearm. We have 0 incidents. When we look across the history of youth shooting sports, because we have a firearm involved, we are very, very intentional about our safety programs and training, monitoring. So that element that makes people uncomfortable, I can tell you the most comfortable I've ever been around firearms is around a bunch of kids that have been trained, because they are so well disciplined with it, and we don't give them room to make mistakes. We have that buffer that we don't get a chance to make mistakes in this sport, so we are very intentional about it. When we go to the national shoots that we compete in like Sparta, Illinois, there's 4,000 kids walking around that complex with shotguns. Every one of them has the ammo in their pocket and the shotgun, and it seems odd when we explain it to that because of the image that we have of kids and firearms. But when you teach them to be responsible about it, it changes the whole approach to the problem. When you have any individual, whether it's a child or an adult, that responsibly knows how to handle a firearm, not only do they become safer when they interact with a firearm, be it by intentional or unintentional, there's a value that adds to it. So that one risk factor that generally stops the conversation. When you look at our statistics, we have the best statistics of any sport, anytime. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good feedback. Thank you to Chad Carlson and Matt. Next on the agenda, we have the opportunity for the audience and public comments. As they're coming up, I'm just going to read our little policy. So the comments are limited to 3 minutes per person or group. And members of the public are welcome to speak before the board, as long as everything is not too lengthy and may be cut off or terminated if there is anything that's directed personally, abusive, obscene, repetitive, or irrelevant. We look forward to hearing from you.
Hi, we are from Student Senate. My name is Elizabeth Whitney. And we are here today to talk to you about our California Wildfire fundraiser. So, we are doing a fundraiser at the Fort Morgan High School where we have a bunch of boxes set out with a bunch of teachers' faces set on them where people can put money in them. And the whole point of this is that we are trying to have students from our high school collect money to put towards the Red Cross. And so far we have $574 raised. And our goal is like $700, I think. So I think it'd be really cool to get it up to that. And we brought it to you guys today to see if you guys would want to help donate.
In a way that we've decided to incentivize these students to get, the top 3 teachers with the most money put towards them get pied in the face during this. And I know a lot of kids who would put money towards that. And right now in the lead we have Mr. Wall is number 1, Ms. Cangro is number 2, Mr. Stream is number 2. And then we have Mr. Clay Anderson, who's number 4, and then Mr. Brett Anderson is number 5. So
Let's keep it at
we know you guys go to 3rd place so that he would get 5. And it's right over there. You guys can always change that. You can change it.
When are you planning on ending it?
So it's ended at the high school, so we're done fundraising at the high school. And I think after like today and stuff, after we've done getting money for today, it would be those top 3. And the teachers will be probably like I said during the spring assembly at the high school.
So today's the last day?
Yes.
Oh, just, Bev offered to
Yeah.
leave it here for one extra day for the staff.
Yes, so we can also just leave it here as well.
Yeah, we'll send an email out to the district support center staff and give them an opportunity to contribute as well.
And I'm leaving right after this meeting, so I need to give you guys each $5, and I want you to put it in the one you want.
Remember, I have to work with him, so.
Thank you so much.
Next on the agenda, we have reports. So we will start with our high school student representative.
Good evening, everybody. So far, student sports have started, and girls soccer is hoping to have our first game tomorrow, but if the weather stays how it is, it'll hopefully get canceled. I wouldn't be too upset if it did. And then girls basketball has their first playoff game Thursday at Pagosa Springs, so just everybody wish them a good luck for making it to playoffs.
Board reports. Nancy is absent tonight. Does any other board members have a report for us? So we have the superintendent report.
Thank you, and I'll be quick here. We, as you see in my report here, we received 3 bids on all the roofs. I think we're doing all the roofs, maybe not the middle school, I'm not 100% sure which one. Bits and pieces. But it's quite a few roofs that are being replaced. As you've seen in our gyms, we need new roofs at this point. Those bids range anywhere from just over $3 million to under $3.2 million. And at this point, they're so close that really leaving it up to the committee got together and really comes down to who might be comfortable. Hopefully that work gets started here real soon, and it should take most of the summer to get it done. And hopefully we have leak-proof roofs at beginning of the school year. Last week, last Thursday, I believe it was, or Friday, I can't remember. Dr. Frasco and I sat down with the Commissioner of Education, and she interviewed us about our efforts kids to school and attendance. And we had an opportunity to talk to her about some of the things we've been doing here in Fort Morgan, which has increased the amount of daily attendance that we see with our students. Now, given this last couple of weeks, we've had some different illnesses go around, so our numbers might get a little different right now, but in the last couple of years, we've really seen attendance change, and we're pretty proud about that. Very complimentary about the things that we were doing, so other than that, that's my.
Mr. Sanders. Next, we have the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Assessment, Dr. Rena Frasco.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight, I decided to table the counseling curriculum as an action item. First and foremost, we've been looking at Aperture and Character Strong, and after speaking with Mr. Sanders and just thinking through, I've not come in front of the board because honestly the cost is a lot higher than I want it to be. I've tried to go back to those companies, and so we have a counseling meeting set up for Wednesday, and because most of those curriculums now are digital, just to have another conversation about it. And then you will see tonight, industrial arts curriculum is up for adoption. A majority of the adoption is actually not going to be funded with general fund dollars. It's going to be funded with CDIP. So we've already purchased some things for Mr. Brito. So he is actually going to get a brand new computer lab that is going to, and that's actually out of CDIP money. The industrial certificate money that we got like $90,000 this year. It's a very good use of the money. He's going to get certified in SolidWorks. We've been talking about it for a couple of years. It's an industry certificate that uses very specific software for 2D and 3D things, and so we needed to have updated computers. So we've already purchased the SolidWorks and the computer lab, out of CDIP money, and then the only additional piece that he needed some new drill presses from Woodcraft. So those are the things that you would see. That it's a very minor, actually small amount of money for a curriculum adoption. So I have checked in with Mr. Rabson Kamanga. He is the industrial arts teacher at the middle school, and right now he's good with the equipment that he has. It's still in really good shape, so there was no any other. So questions for me in regards to curriculum adoption? Thank you.
The agenda, we have the Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Mr. Jason Frasco.
Good evening. Kind of a few things here on the agenda for you, but start off with the personal action report. Trying to see some movement, especially in our classified. We're starting to see a few certified events for us as well, which is kind of normal for this time of year. Continue to monitor that and hopefully kind of stabilize that to the next couple this year. Active postings, we have 1 administrative posting, we have 34 certified postings. A lot of those are our critical shortage or permanent substitute postings that we posted up years. We have 15 classified and then 6 others as far as subs and those standard ones that we have. Excuse me. Next up, we have the CBIT renewal. Bev's going to throw up a few for me here. This first one is our renewal rate. Really good news. We came in at a 5.5% renewal rate, which is about, if I remember right, about $47 a month per employee increase. And compared to last year was a 7.9%, I believe we were. So some really good news there, that our rates are dropping. Bev, can you go back to that one just for a second? The big one there, if you see about 3/4 way down, the initial loss ratio was 82.6%. The next one down says claims over 100 to 750,000. That's a benefit of our trust, and any claims in there are deducted, and you see our claims drop down to 66.3 that's what gets us into that category 1 rate. So really good news for us as we move forward with things for next year. The next one is just more informational. These are all services that are part of our CBIT insurance plan. Lantern used to be called Surgery Plus, Teladoc, things. But really, if you start looking at the numbers from 2020 to now, you'll see an increase in those, and an increase in those means that those services are being used, which is also decreasing our out-of-pocket for the district, which is really good things. So hopefully we can continue to progress in the right direction there. Job fairs, we attended one in Dakota Ridge High School, the surf one on Saturday. I think we saw a good number of candidates, a few possibilities that we might be able to attract that are either moving here or have spouses that are coming to our community. So hoping to tie those in. We'll still go to Wyoming here in another week and a half, and then the end of the month. So job fairs are just tough anymore. There's just not a great turnout of them, but you also don't want to miss out on a possible candidate if you can get them. So critical shortage hires, we started that process of hiring folks back that are on critical shortage that are very solid teachers that have given us lots of time over the years. I think we've processed 14 of the 18 that have showed interest in coming back to this point in time. Safer Schools grant, just an update. I briefly told you about this earlier. This is a grant that's going to be potentially in the 750 to 800,000 range. 800,000. It'll be a fully funded grant. It's not a matching grant. It'll be an opportunity for us to put radios in every school, which would give us emergency access in the case of an emergency. Many schools greatly this direction have gotten it. We have engaged with a grant writer to help us with that process. So, but we feel really good that that's a possibility that we're going to get that. The next one is substitute pay for classified employees. I want to just kind of talk through this a little bit and just more informational, I think, than anything. But our current rate for a substitute teacher, for a 1-year licensed substitute teacher, is $163 a day. We have a number of classified TAs who also hold a substitute license through CDE. We have one, and it really just came to light the other day, sub for a teacher. Her daily rate is $164.30. When she subbed for a certified teacher for the day, she got paid $163, which isn't right, and we need to address that. What I'd like to do, and it's been somewhat of an unwritten practice in the past, of adding an hour of time to a classified employee who subs for a certified teacher. What I would propose is that if you have a classified employee, a teacher assistant, for a certified employee, that we pay them 1 hour of additional time for the day at their daily rate. So if they're making $20 a day, or $20 an hour, it'd be an additional $20 to do that duty. If they're a certified, if they hold a license through CDE, we would pay them 2 hours of additional time. The net profit is about $100 to $120. A certified substitute costs us $163. We pay a classified employee to work for 2 hours. We're still $100 ahead there. So that would be my proposal, how we handle it. It makes it a little bit cleaner on finance and payroll side to do that, as opposed to go in and do a dock day and then a repay day, and it gets a little bit messy. So if there's any concerns or questions, I'd be glad to answer that. And last one, we added a little bit of change of language as I reviewed the sick bank policy, and just add a little bit of a change to the, I think it was number 5. Number 5, just change that up just a little bit to give a little bit of clarity to it. So, any questions for me?
Thank you, Mr. Fresco. Next, we have the Chief Financial Officer report, who is out of town, so we will move on to the discussion items. Item A, the curriculum adoption for counseling and industrial arts. Is there any further discussion? Discussion item B, the second reading of District Revision Policy GCCB-R. Administrative staff sick leave. Is there any further discussion? Okay, discussion item C, the first reading of district policy revisions. Policy IKF, graduation requirements. Policy JICA, student dress code. And policy IKF-E, graduation retirements -retire. Is there any discussion?
So I did have some discussion points on IKF, and Mr. Anderson's here. There's a couple of things that, one, if you look at, on there towards the bottom where it says the total required credits, should probably read 35 to 39, so that you can actually reach the 48 credits, because if it's just 35 and 9, that's only 44 credits. So the other thing is the business or computer credit, I don't believe is required anymore. So I think that needs to come out. And then finally, if you go under science, where it lists out the students are required to have 10 credits, I guess certainly Mr. Anderson can look at this, my recommendation is just to take that statement out, because otherwise you have to list it separately for each pathway that we have, which makes it really cumbersome to read. So I just got those 3 changes in there that need to be made, and I've already let. So.
I will review this with Mr. Anderson and take his direction.
And I wanted to throw a little bit in there about the student dress code on the first reading there, the JICI. That was actually created by the District Accountability Committee. A really great group of people. We get together. We got together more than we have in the past, but we spent a lot of time looking at dress codes, and we came down to this one. So really kind of like the visual with it. And again, this is the first reading, so if there's things that you don't like or things we need to do differently between now and reading, we should probably get those in there. But we were pretty comfortable with where it landed, so.
So is it DAB that worked on this?
Yeah, it was the District Accountability Committee, and again, my thanks goes out to that group. It was a fun group to work.
It's a big tackle.
So you did a good job.
So under the minimum requirements, we're listing the minimum requirements, and then where it says, the administration each school reserves the right to determine what constitutes appropriate dress, that is anything beyond the minimum requirements, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I just wanted to-
Yeah. Well, some of it comes down to you're trying to create a policy for all K through 12 kids, and what's appropriate in elementary may not be appropriate in high school or vice versa. And there's one already suggested, suggestion came in that we'll try to get on the next one, and I know they've done something different with hats at the high school, and there may be, in here it says no hats, and I'm not sure how we'll putting that in there for the next meeting. I can't remember what I said, but we talked about it and presented in part 2 of this in the second reading.
So we have the consent agenda. Before you, we have the personnel action report and we don't have a list of checks. We have the personnel action report. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, roll call please, sorry.
Chris Brown?
Aye.
Amy Grantham?
Aye.
Katie Jess?
Aye.
John Powdy?
Aye.
Mindy Smith? Sarah Whitney?
Aye.
Okay, next we have action items. Item A, the Play Trap Shooting Club. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
start this spring, I believe. So that's real soon.
This month.
Roll call, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Amy Grantham,
Aye.
Katie Jess.
Aye.
John Powdy,
Aye.
Mindy Smith,
Aye.
Sarah Whitney.
Okay, we are going to skip action item B, curriculum adoption for counseling. And next is item C, curriculum adoption for industrial arts. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Roll, please.
Chris Brown,
Aye.
Amy Grantham,
Aye.
Katie Jess.
Aye.
John Powdy,
Aye.
Mindy Smith,
Aye.
Sarah Whitney.
Next, we have all of and advanced planning. Spring break is March 10th through the 14th. And the next Board of Education meeting is March 24th. If there is no further business to come before 1 p.m.